What if I told you that inside your own closet, inside your pantry, there is a substance that you consume almost every day believing that it does no harm? Something that, little by little, droplet by droplet, is shutting down two of the organs that work the most in your body. The person who is talking to you is a professional who has been following hundreds of patients for many years. In my practice, I see daily the terrible consequences of this poison on the kidneys of ordinary people, especially those who come to me when the damage is already done, unfortunately at a very advanced stage. Today, I want to break that silence. I will not use complicated words or terms that only appear in medical textbooks. I will talk to you clearly, as if we were side by side. I'm going to reveal what the worst toxin is that's poisoning your kidneys without you even realizing it. The scariest thing is that you have most likely already consumed this toxin this morning. Stay with me until the end to find out what it is all about, to understand how it acts, and above all, to learn how to protect yourself before there is no turning back. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking a few minutes for what really matters: your health. Those who have been working with kidneys for so many years have a mission that goes beyond prescribing drugs or performing surgeries. My mission is to prevent people from getting sick, and one of the most painful situations I face is seeing good people, full of life, suffer kidney problems that could have been avoided with information. The big problem with the kidneys is that they are defenders who don't make noise. They work behind the scenes without ever complaining. Imagine that you have the most sophisticated filtration system inside your body, turned on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without taking a break. Those are your kidneys. They clean all your blood, remove impurities, debris that the body does not need, and excess fluids. But that's not all. They also control your blood pressure, help in the manufacture of red blood cells to prevent anemia, and keep your bones sturdy. They are the basis that sustains the functioning of everything else. But what happens when that system starts to fail? No alarm rings. No sharp pain appears to warn. Chronic kidney disease acts like a thief that enters slowly, year after year. When the signs are finally evident, swollen ankles, fatigue that does not go away with rest, cramps, the damage can already be very serious and often without return. I've had so many older people in the office, scared, not understanding, having to face dialysis or a transplant. The question that always remains in the air is, how did I not notice? The answer hurts. No one warned these people clearly about the everyday poisons that undermine their health. That's why I'm here. Because information is power, and today I want to put that power in your hand. Let's dismantle several of these hidden enemies. I prepared a list starting with the least obvious until reaching the worst of all. So stay with me. What you will learn here can literally change the course of your life. Before starting, it is essential that you understand why, over the years, we have become more fragile in the face of these substances. Age transforms the rules of the game. In the same way that the eyesight becomes weaker or the hair becomes white, the kidneys also age. Their ability to filter, what doctors call the glomerular filtration rate, slowly decreases every decade. Think of a car that has already driven many kilometers. It still works, of course, but it no longer has the same vigor as when it was new. Now imagine that instead of putting quality fuel into this old engine, you put bad fuel and still force it to climb hills every day. What will happen? It will break much sooner. Well, that's exactly what many of us do with our kidneys without realizing it. For 50, 60, 70 years, we expose them to things that in their youth didn't seem harmful, but each of those things leaves a little scar, and these scars accumulate. It is this effect that, in the future, can lead to kidney failure. In addition, with age, it becomes easier for high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes to appear. I want to be very clear. These two diseases are the world champions of chronic kidney disease. They act like two hammers hitting the delicate structure of your kidneys nonstop. Therefore, anything that contributes to causing or worsening diabetes and high blood pressure is a direct attack on the health of your kidneys. Today, we are going to give a name and face to these aggressors. To make it simpler, I organize 4 of them. Let's start with one that you don't eat or drink, but that hurts all the same. Then we walk until we reach number 1, the one that, without a doubt, is the most dangerous, the most addictive, and the most widespread out there. The real wolf in sheep's clothing. Let's go. The fourth poison is lack of movement. It may even seem strange because it is neither a food nor a drink. It's something you stop doing. I'm talking about spending many hours sitting, whether watching television, playing on my cell phone, or on the computer. You may think, what does sitting have to do with my kidneys? The answer is everything. Your kidneys depend on a strong, healthy bloodstream to function well. Imagine a mighty river. The water runs strong, carries away the debris, and remains clean. Now think of a hole with standing water. The mud settles, everything rots, and that water turns into poison. Your circulatory system is that river. When you move, when you walk, your heart pumps harder, and the blood circulates vigorously through the body, reaching the millions of filters in your kidneys with power. This current gives them the strength they need to cleanse their bodies properly. But when you sit for hours without moving, everything slows down. The flow is slow, just like standing water. And that slowness opens the door to the kidney's worst enemies: excess weight, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. When the body doesn't move, it doesn't use blood sugar properly, which leads to insulin resistance and, over time, diabetes. Lack of movement also makes you gain weight, which forces your heart to work harder and raises your blood pressure. Every extra pound is an extra load for your kidneys. The way out is to move. No need to panic. You won't become an athlete overnight. The solution is much simpler and within everyone's reach. Break up the long periods of sitting. If you spend a lot of time in the chair, the first step is to simply stand up. Set an alarm clock on your phone for every hour. Get up, take a walk around the house, go drink a glass of water, stretch your arms. This simple gesture already makes the circulation reactivate. The next step is to include a daily walk. It doesn't have to be long. Start with 10 minutes on the street from home. The following week, 15. The secret is regularity, not speed. Walking is one of the best exercises out there. It's good for the heart, controls sugar, strengthens bones, and of course, sends healthy blood flow to the kidneys. If you have difficulty walking, there are great exercises that can be done while sitting. Move your arms, lift your legs, rotate your ankles. Anything goes. The rule is, any move is better than none. Remember the image of the river. Your every step is a wave of clean water reaching your kidneys. The third poison is hidden in plain sight, inside the medicine cabinet of practically every house. It's that pill that you take without even thinking about it when you have a headache, back pain, or joint pain. I'm talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. You know it by its names: ibuprofen, naproxen, diclofenac. Millions of people use these drugs thinking that, as they are sold over the counter, they do no harm. And that's the big trap. They are very efficient for pain, but frequent use, every day, in high doses, can be deadly for the kidneys, especially for those who are older. Let me explain it simply. In order for the kidneys to receive good blood flow, the body produces substances called prostaglandins, which keep the renal arteries open the right size. The problem is that anti-inflammatories work by blocking exactly these prostaglandins to relieve pain, and they don't choose. They also block those that protect the kidneys. The result is that the arteries of the kidneys constrict, close, and the oxygen-rich blood that reaches them decreases greatly. It's like tying a knot in the garden hose. The water doesn't reach the plant, and it starts to wilt. The same thing happens with the kidneys. The biggest danger is that the damage is silent. Taking these pills every single day for ongoing pain, such as arthritis, is like tying a knot and untying the knot in the hose over and over again. Over time, the filters become bruised, full of marks, and stop working. It is a slow process that only shows signs when it is already advanced. The solution is to respect both pain and medicine. This means that it is not to simply endure the pain. Quality of life comes first. The way is to be smart and, above all, talk to a professional. First and foremost, never self-medicate with anti-inflammatories for long periods. If the pain lasts more than a few days, the answer is not to continue taking the pills. The answer is to go to the doctor to find out what's causing the pain. It's not about turning off the alarm, but about finding where the fire is. Second, be honest with your doctor and tell them everything you take, including vitamins, teas, and those over-the-counter medications. Many flu or sleep medications have anti-inflammatories hidden in the formula. Third, there are alternatives to pains that appear from time to time. Paracetamol is usually safer for the kidneys, always in the right doses, and explore options that don't come in pills. Physical therapy, hot or cold compresses, stretching. All of this can work wonders and decrease your dependence on painkillers. The golden rule is this: anti-inflammatories are potent medicines. Using one once in a while is no problem. To depend on them every day without medical supervision is to play Russian roulette with your kidneys. We move on to the second poison. This is perhaps the most underrated of all. It is present in kitchens all over the world. I'm talking about salt, or, to be exact, sodium. A lot of people tell me, but I almost don't use the salt shaker. This is the big mistake. The problem is not the salt you put in your food. The problem is the enormous amount of sodium that is hidden in processed foods. Studies show that more than 75% of the sodium we consume comes from there, not from the salt shaker. It is in bread, processed meats, cheeses, canned soups, sauces, frozen foods, almost everything that comes in a package. The industry adds sodium for the product to last longer and taste better. He is an invisible aggressor. And why is it so bad? The body needs a small amount of sodium to function. But when we exaggerate, the balance is broken. To dilute all this sodium, the body retains fluid, makes it thirstier, and tells the kidneys not to release even a drop of water. The result is that the volume of blood inside the arteries increases and the pressure inside them skyrockets. That's high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure. The filters of your kidneys form a network of very delicate and tiny vessels. Imagine trying to clean a silk scarf with a pressure washer. You would destroy the fabric. That's exactly what high blood pressure does to your kidneys, day in and day out. It hurts, marks, and destroys in a vicious cycle. The solution is to become a labeled detective. Protecting yourself from this poison requires a change in mindset. It's not about eating tasteless food. It's about eating smart. The most powerful tool you have is learning how to read food labels. Turn the package over and look for the word sodium. You'll be surprised at how much sodium is in foods that don't even taste salty, like certain breakfast cereals or sweet cookies. The general recommendation is not to exceed 2,000 to 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. If you already have high blood pressure, the goal should be 1,500 milligrams. The second strategy is to cook more at home. At home, you have complete control. Third, rediscover natural seasonings. Nature has given us a lot of herbs and spices that transform any dish. Garlic, onion, pepper, oregano, rosemary, turmeric, cumin, paprika. Lemon and vinegar are also great for flavoring without using a pinch of sodium. And one last tip, if you buy canned vegetables, wash them well under the tap. With this simple attitude, you take away a large portion of the sodium that has been added. In a few weeks, your taste buds will readjust, and you'll begin to get a true taste of food. It's liberating. We have reached the end. We have already talked about sedentary life, anti-inflammatories, and salt, all powerful enemies. But now I present to you what I consider the number one poison, the absolute champion of silent destruction. The most addictive, the most present in our diet, and the one that causes the most devastating damage. This poison is not a rare chemical. It is something we associate with parties, awards, affection. I'm talking about sugar and its inseparable partner, white flour. Yes, you heard it right. That white and sweet powder, the desserts, the soft drinks, but also the white bread, the common pasta, the cookies. In my experience, this duo is the main reason why diabetes is the biggest cause of kidney failure worldwide. It's the path that I see repeated countless times in my career until patients end up on dialysis. Why am I so firm about this? Because sugar and white flour, which the body turns into sugar almost instantly, do not make a single attack. They make a massive, organized attack by several sides at once. First attack, the direct road to diabetes. The main cause of kidney failure is diabetes, and the exaggerated consumption of sugar and white flour is largely responsible for type 2 diabetes. When you eat these things, they trigger a huge surge of glucose in your blood. The pancreas goes into despair, throwing insulin to try to control it. If this happens every day, the cells become deaf to the insulin signal and the sugar remains loose in the blood. This is how type 2 diabetes begins. When blood sugar stays high for too long, kidney damage is severe. Sugar literally hardens the filters of the kidneys as if they were caramelized and destroys them. This is called diabetic nephropathy, the fastest road to dialysis. Second attack, high blood pressure. Before, we thought that salt was the only culprit for high blood pressure, but today we know that sugar is just as harmful or even worse for blood pressure. A diet high in sugar raises blood pressure. So even if you control the salt, the sugar keeps hitting your kidneys. Third attack, silent inflammation. Sugar is like fire inside the body. It causes mild but constant inflammation that damages the walls of all arteries, including those of the kidneys. Fourth attack, obesity and fatty liver. The sugar you don't spend turns into fat. This fat accumulates, causes obesity, another risk factor for the kidneys, and is also deposited in the liver, generating fatty liver, a condition that messes up the entire metabolism and harms the kidneys. As you see, it's a full-blown attack. That's why I call it poison number 1. The good news is that we can defeat this enemy. The key is knowledge. First, understand that sugar has many hidden names: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose. They're all disguises for the same substance. Second, eliminate the most obvious sources: sugary drinks, soft drinks, industrialized juices, ready-made iced teas. All of this is liquid sugar. A single can have more than 10 teaspoons of sugar. Swap everything for water, sparkling water with lemon, or homemade unsweetened teas. This is perhaps the most powerful change you can make. Third, be smart with products that claim to be light or diet. They often take off the fat and put sugar in its place to give it taste. Always prefer the natural versions. For example, plain yogurt instead of fruit yogurt, then you add real fruit yourself. Fourth, replace white flours with whole grains. Real whole wheat bread, brown rice, rolled oats. The fiber they have slows down the absorption of sugar in the blood. And finally, embrace the real food. Fruits, vegetables, beans, meat, fish, eggs, nuts. When your diet is based on whole foods, sugar and white flours practically disappear as if by magic. We have come an important way today. We expose 4 silent poisons that threaten your kidneys. The fourth, the sedentary life, which makes circulation slow and stopped. The third, common anti-inflammatories, which can suffocate the kidneys. The second, the hidden salt, which makes the pressure skyrocket. The first, sugar and white flours, which attack the entire body at once. You may be feeling a little overwhelmed, but my goal is not to scare him. It's giving you strength. Truth, as much as it hurts, is the only thing that allows us to make better choices. Kidney disease doesn't have to be your destiny. Each of these poisons is in your control. It's up to you whether to get up from your chair. It is up to you to decide whether to see a doctor. It's up to you whether to read the label. It's up to you whether to choose water over soda. It is not a matter of changing everything overnight. It is a matter of taking one small step today and another tomorrow. Every small change is a victory. Every meal eaten at home, every walk is another brick in the protective wall of your kidneys. You have the power to change your health story. If this conversation has opened your eyes or made you think, I ask you to do something very important. Share. Send it to your children, to your partner, to a friend. Life-saving information needs to circulate. And if you want to continue receiving clear and practical guidelines to take care of your health, subscribe and activate notifications. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us what caught your attention the most in everything we talked about. Is there anything you didn't know that you intend to change from now on? I will read your comments to continue helping this community. Thank you for staying this far. I thank you for dedicating this time to what really matters. Remember, your kidneys work nonstop for you every second. Reciprocate with conscious choices. Whoever talks to you wishes you a long, healthy, and energetic life from the heart.